Pokémon, a franchise that took the world by storm and defined the childhoods of many. It has only gotten more popular with time, but what was Pokémon like way back then? More specifically, how has competitive Pokémon changed over the years for those striving to be the very best? Now that is exactly what we are here to find out. In this series, Jeexx and I will embark on an adventure to be the very best, exploring through time and space to rediscover Pokémon's past formats. In each episode, both of us will bring two teams and battle it out in a best of 3 match, and the one who wins with both teams first is crowned the champion of the episode. We hope you enjoy this trip to Pokemon's evolution with us. Welcome to the Pokemon Progression Series, A Journey Through Time. Generation 5, Unova, with Black and White and Black and White 2, was the first region to not be based in Japan and instead was based on parts of the USA. It added a hopping 156 new Pokemon, the most out of any generation, and had some insanely powerful mons for both singles and VGC, like Excadrill, Ferrothorn, and the Jinx, just to name a few, but definitely was the first generation to introduce a lot of power creep into Pokemon. It also added hidden abilities as a mechanic as well as Scald, an incredibly flexible move with good base power and a high chance of inflicted burn, as well as Gems, a series of items that give a once per game 50% boost to a move of its type when used for the first time. Generation 5 also finally removed the defense halving mechanic from Explosion and Self-Destruct, drastically decreasing their raw power. However, none of these changes defined the 5th generation as Weather did. Often referred to as the Weather generation, abilities like Drizzle, Drought, and Sandstream now brought permanent weather into battle, often referred to as Auto Weather, only fading upon a new weather play being applied, resulting in many weather wars in almost every single match in Generation 5. What is up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Pokemon Prog series, this time with Generation 5 RU. If you're wondering, yes, I am still annoyed about last week, but hopefully this week will be better. Before we get into the team breakdowns, I want to give a shout out to a specific mon, Sinkino. The issue that I ran into, I really wanted to use Chinchino. This is like one of my favorite mons out of the entirety of Gen 5. But the issue with RU is that there are so many mons that do like similar things but just better than Chinchino. If there is a god listening, please somehow drop this mon to NU before next week for us so I can play this in Gen 5 NU. Because the issue is like, I don't know, it just, every time I try to build a team with Chinchino in it, it just like, this thing would be better, or this thing would be better, this thing would be better. The big issue is just because it's a pure normal type, while it's defensively obviously pretty good, like not getting the stat bonuses, even though you have like good coverage. These are like my 2 favorite sets, and 2 sets that I was like thinking of, either like a Life Orb Wall Breaker, where you have obviously 3 different moves to take advantage of your skill link, and then Aqua Tail is there to hit stuff like Steelix and Aggron that otherwise like absolutely wall you. Like this set is, in my opinion, like the cooler one, and then just like a more standard one with a Choice Scarf. You're so fast for the tier anyway, you don't need to be Jolly, you can go Adamant with Scarf, and the same 3 moves, but instead of Aqua, you have U-Turn then. I prefer the Wall Breaking set, but still, like with the Wall Breaking set, like the coverage it gives you is like nice, but there are still like so many more cores that you can have for that do the job better. And as we go into the, I guess I'll like explain the thing. Like Tail Slap is nice, obviously. It's this thing just does, this is the move that you just click and you just do so much damage to things. And I think there's like 2 or 3 ghost types. There is Spiritomb, there's Rotom, is there, I swear there was one more. Oh yeah, and then there's Dusknoir. So there are 3 ghost types. So there are a couple monsters that are immune to your Tail Slap, but still like it's a pretty safe move to just click. And then obviously you just have good coverage. You hit both the fossils with Bullet Seed, obviously. You immediately explode them. Rock Blast kills Insane McMortar and Moltres just straight up. Typhlosion as well, yes. If for whatever reason you're running Typhlosion, and then like Aqua Tail. But like, all of this stuff is nice, but like you're missing something there. And for a lot of these things, you need to do a little better. And essentially just like Chinchino, I really wanted to use, I'm sorry, Karen, I know, the greatest trainers truly try to win with their favorites. I'll try to make it work, but we still have a few days when I'm recording this to when we're actually doing the games. So I'll try to think around to maybe find a way to actually fit Chinchino in. But for now, like, it's out, but I'll see what I can do. But for the time being, the two teams that we're bringing in, we have once more a stolen team, because almost always, like, I don't know if it's clear at this point, like, almost always I tend to play, like, balance. I tend to prefer balanced teams to everything else, and I usually gravitate towards balance. I don't really play a lot of other stuff. But for hyper offense, like, after last week, I was like, just give me one team where you just click buttons and see what happens, and I want to give that a shot, because I got so annoyed last time. I found this team, so I was like, you know what, let's give it a whirl. So shout out DMB, who the team was made by. I have literally changed nothing there. So one thing also why I picked this team is I think Durant and Golurk are both like such sick mons. They're some of my favorites from Generation 5. I don't know what it is about like hustle with Homeclaws as a concept just being really cool to me, but I really like it. And as a result, like, I think Durant is really neat. And same thing with like Noguard Dynamic Punch. I think it's just so sick. So that's how I end up with these two. By the way, I obviously now, since these have been pre-built and I haven't touched anything, I can't talk for all the philosophy here, but you can see that Durant doesn't have a steel type move, even though it's a steel type. And the reason for that, I can assume, is you literally the only mons that you would hit for super effective with with Ironhead are Aerodactyl, Archeops, and I think Crustle. I'm pretty sure those are literally the only 3 mons in the entire tier that you hit for super effective with Ironhead. And 2 of those 3 you also hit for super effective with Thunderfang. And additionally, it gives you coverage for the plethora of water types and other flying types that are present in the tier. So it just strictly like so much better. Exeter is like fine to hit all the grass types in the tier, which there are a few of, and also there's quite a few psychics as well, so that's why it's better. And the superpower obviously for the steel types there. Lumberry, you don't want to get paralyzed, you really don't want to get burned, so I just assume it's for that. And then Hustle, obviously ability, essentially gives you band power, but your accuracy is kept at 80%, which is why we're running Homeclaws, which essentially just immediately removes the accuracy penalty. This makes since all of our moves are either 100% or 95% accurate. I think after Homeclaws, they're 97 and 94, I think. Something like that. Essentially, like, you should never miss these moves. Golurk, Life Orb, No Guard, Dynamic Punch, Rock Polish, Earthquake, and Shadow Punch. These are just here for coverage. Dynamic Punch is what we want to be clicking most of the time because it just always confuses the target. And Rock Polish is here. Golurk already hits extremely hard with this Gargantuan attack stat, and obviously like all of these moves being pretty strong apart from Shadow Punch. But Shadow Punch we're a lot less gonna click. It's mostly just here to hit the ghost types that we can't hit otherwise. And after Rock Polish, like, we're obviously pretty fast, putting up to 418 speed, which is something with Scarf, but I don't remember what. It was like a base 90 or something with Scarf. No, would it be then base 85? Or if I make this thing modest? Yeah, around this speed is what we're hitting with after a Rock Polish. So I'll speed in most things. We have a Rotom here. Rotom is here to help us pivot, and also the electric coverage really nice. Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Trick. It is also there to give us a second spin blocker in our team, which is really nice. Trick is there to break defensive teams. Obviously, the defensive core tricking a Choice Scarf on a defensive mon is going to help us a lot. Sceptile, Flame Gem, Unburden, Acrobatics, I think is so sick. It's the way how Flying Gem interacts with Acrobatics is that you use the Flying Gem, it gives the power boost to Acrobatics, and afterwards Acrobatic checks to see if you have an item to check the damage. It sees you don't have an item, so it gets the power boost, making acrobatics immediately like base 170 base power, so getting all the bonuses, which obviously is really good. Hitting opposing grass types or bug types or anything of the like. Then we just have a very basic Sword Stance, Leaf Blade, Earthquake combo here, and thanks to Unburden and Subtle Space speed being so insanely fast, we're not running a Jolly Nature. On Star Focus Sash, Weak Armor, Spike Scald, Ice Beam, Stealth Rock. It is just here to be our suicide lead. It'll put on Stealth Rocks, it'll put on Spikes, and then it'll die away. That's it. That's the way Hyper Offense. I'm obviously not very familiar. I think I played once previously in this series, or was I just contemplating? But that's essentially why most teams just have Deoxys Speed. If you're playing Hyper Offense, like Deoxys Speed is just a dedicated lead, which like Hyper Offense really wants to just put on hazards and then just pressure our opponent with constant pressure. That's why we also have like, we have a setup mon, a setup mon, a setup mon, and our fourth mon, which is also a setup mon. So for Alligator, Sword Stance, Substitute, Aqua Jet, and Crunch. This is where like, this is the slot where I would like to put Cinccino, and I'll still try to see if it works, but it's just the water coverage you get off for Alligator is just so nice, and obviously having a sub Sword Stance with lefties with Torrent, like obviously really good. I think I did this previously with Sceptile with Overgrow, so obviously this making giving us the chance to proc our own Torrent, it's really nice. Sheer Force, unfortunately, not up for Alligator yet, which is also why this set tends to be better. Crunch is just the best move that we have to hit for neutral for on as many avenues as possible, and we already have like multiple mons with Earthquake coverage, so we don't really need that. But this is a slot where I would love to have Cinccino, but it just it makes your core just so much worse, unfortunately. Like, Wooden types are just good, and for Alligator is unfortunately just a better Pokemon than Cinccino. As with other teams though, Galvantula and Sigilyph, like probably my two favorite, like straight up just two favorite mons from the entire tier. Galvantula being like top 3 electric types of all time for me. I absolutely love Galvantula. Combat Ice Thunder is just so sick. This means that your Thunder is, even without rain, 97% accurate, so it should hit basically every single time. Bug Bust there for just our strongest bug type move, Volt Switch, what we're usually going to be clicking, and then Giga Drain is here to help with the rock and ground types that we can't hit otherwise. There is an argument to be made for Energy Ball, but since Energy Ball still is only 80 base power and not 90, as it is, if I'm not mistaken, in later generations, I figured that the Giga Drain healing is going to be more valuable, especially because this team is very weak to rocks, but this time I haven't overlooked that. We'll cover that in a little bit. Sigilyph, Life Orb Magic Guard, shouldn't be a surprise. It's very broken. Magic Guard, one of the most powerful abilities in the entire game. Obviously, Sigilyph is normally weak to rocks. Thanks to Magic Guard, you take no damage from rocks. You also don't take recoil from Life Orb, but you still get the benefit. Roost, there for healing. Calm and Roost, just to help us. Psychic, that we're going to be clicking on most things, and the things that resist Psychic, most commonly in this tier being, what's their first? Being Steel types, we have Heat Wave for those. They've had Druddigon here with Outrage, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, and Sucker Punch. It's a Choice Band Sheer Force set. Sucker Punch is there just for us to be able to pick off low health targets, because Druddigon isn't that fast, and that's why we are also like not really investing in speed that much. Outrage is there just as a like good dragon type move. Like I've said previously, like Dragon Claw being 80 base power at this point means just I hate Outrage, but it's a necessary evil because Dragon Claw is just so much weaker. Most of the time we want to be clicking our Fire Punch and Thunder Punch stuff, because these moves with Sheer Force obviously pack a huge punch. Once again, like more fire coverage because steel types are very good. Moltres, Choice Scarf and Hurricane, Fire Blast, U-Turn, and Hidden Power Grass. I do not like it, but small. Unfortunately, if you just look at the tier with the plethora of bug and grass types here, as well as a lot of steel types, Moltres is just really good. Unfortunately, it is really weak, obviously, losing 50% to rocks, which means that we do need to have a way to deal with that, especially with Moltres having a choice scarf. This is another mon that I contemplating like replacing with Cinccino, and I think this would be more likely replaced with Cinccino, just because like even though I have a way to deal with the big rocks weakness that I have here, it just I hate having to rely on a 70% accurate move, and honestly, the more I'm thinking about this, you know what? Fuck it. I hear you, Karen. Trainers should try to win with their favorites. Welcome to the team, Whirl the Cinccino. It's fast enough to replace a Scarf Moltres. Obviously, I don't have a like proper Scarf. I could make this a Scarf set as well. But I prefer the Life Orb set so much. So I think like still we're gonna be outspeeding like even some slower Scarfers and everything that's not a Scarfer. So I still think this is fine. So yeah, we'll see. Might end up regretting that and not having Moltres in here, but let's be honest, especially with how last week went, if I had Moltres, I'm gonna click Hurricane once, and that's it. There's an argument made to also run Air Slash on Sigilef to have still the coverage there, but because it's mostly there to like hit bugs and grass anyway, like you achieve the same thing with fire. Because the thing is like Gallade and oh yeah, there are the Hitmons and Hariyama. I guess there are quite a few fighting types, but like Sigilef can deal with them with Psychic anyway, and Sigilef is like the big win condition here, so I think we'll still be fine. But yeah, welcome to the team Cinccino. I do like having Cinccino here, because you know, like I said, I love Cinccino. As for the dedicated wall though, we have a physically defensive Steelix. Nothing is getting through this thing. Like, this thing has a fucking whopping 540 defense. Like, you are not getting moved on the physical side. Now, the issue here, obviously, that our special wall is going to be also our big sweeper here. But the Dredigon also has that, like, decent special defense. So, hopefully, that shouldn't be too bad. The one nice thing here is also, like, if you just look at the tier, one of the reasons why Moltres is also so good is there are not a lot of just special attackers in the entire tier. Like, it's essentially, you have, what do you have? There's, you have Magmortar, right? I think it was here. Yeah, you have Magmortar, you have Lilligant, you have Galvantula. Manectric is so bad. You have Moltres and Rodon. You could run special Sceptile as well, but it's like those, I think Typhlosion is dog shit. I think there are like 6 actual special attackers in the tier, so it's not that likely that you'll run into one, which is also why Command isn't that crazy. But I think like that's why we can get away with not running a special wall. But still is here mostly to set Stealth Rock. Gyro Ball obviously hits extremely hard, coming from a fucking 58 speed, especially because there's actually a ton of things here that are quite weak to steel. Not weak to steel, but like can't really hit steel apart from the fire types. And also like the tier is extremely fast. Like Gen 5 RU is crazy with how fast it is. But like we have Axelgor, we have Aerodactyl here, we have Archeops, we have Cinccino, even Cryogonal, but I think this mon is garbage, so very unlikely to come up. Manectric to a lesser degree, the earlier mentioned Moltres, as well as Scyther and Sceptile as well. Like, there are so many fast mons. Oh yeah, Wims here as well, but I don't think Wims is very good before it gets to fairy typing. Like, there's so many fast mons here. The Gyro Ball hitting neutral is still gonna hit extremely hard. It's also why we don't have attack investment on Steelix. But just in case there is a like more of a like setup mon that we can't really hit, like a steel setup mon, something like a what's his face? Durant, like we would really struggle with dealing with Kevin here. So for those situations we have Dragon Tail. And earlier, like I said, like I was prepared to actually deal with the extreme rock weakness that I had with a bug type, as well as a quadruple weakness to rock, which is why we have a rapid spin on Kabutops. You don't really need the 4th move slot. Like, there's an argument to be made to run knockoff or SC here. Or like to a lesser degree, like superpower is also good, but I figured that rapid spin is nice. I still think like even with having Chinchino, I still think I'd rather keep the rapid spin instead of putting something else here. But we obviously do have a rock gem and stone edge here to nuke basically anything that is even neutral for. And then like we just have the stab combination of waterfall and stone edge. Weak armor is nice because obviously it'll give you speed if you're hit by what's his face? If it's hit by a physical move, which is nice about bringing this thing into stuff like U-turn, when you can then get the speed boost from U-turn, and maybe now your opponent doesn't have a mon that outspeeds you as they were maybe previously thinking. Less likely in this tier, because like I said, the tier is very fast, but still like something to consider. And we do have Aqua Jet for those faster mons. But there, like I said, like there's an argument to be made to run something else instead of rapid spin, especially now because I got rid of Moltres. But I still think I quite like. I do have recovery on. What's his face? Galvantula though. I don't think I like. I think wouldn't low kick just be better though? For some stuff, like low kick would be better. For some stuff, superpower would be better. Superpower is the safe option for sure, but I feel like I still have already like decent ways to deal with Steelix, but I'll have to think about it. There's definitely an argument to be made there. Realistically though, this is like between SD and superpower and low kick. But I do think that having rapid spin now is less relevant. But at the same time, like if it's a matchup where Galvantula gets a lot of value, it's really good if you can get rid of stuff. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's go low kick. I might end up regretting it, but we'll give this a shot. And I guess like this is also when we reach the point where, as you can see, like I'm just running for Gen 5 Mons in a team. Because it's just like Gen 5 Mons are so good. Essentially, that's all there is to it. But yeah, we'll see if I end up regretting taking Moltres off the team. But like I said, like with my luck, I would just be missing the Hurricanes anyway. So hopefully Chinchino will pull through and Karen's quote stays true. Sorry, this was a very lengthy episode, obviously, with the Chinchino extra stuff, like putting some extra fluff there. But hopefully you enjoyed still. Hopefully you enjoyed Jeexx as well. And afterwards, I'll see y'all in the battle zone with hopefully a little less RNG than last week if preferred. I'll also try to just get better with dealing with stuff like that, because I'm sure it's not fun for anybody when I'm complaining about my luck constantly. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the battle zone.
Okay, so we are playing Gen 5 RU. And as you can see, we're running a team consisting of Quillfish, Scyther, Amoonguss, Aggron, Lantern, and Whimsicott. Quillfish with Scald Spikes, Toxic Spikes, and Explosion. It's got Focus Sash, Intimidate, and Speed Focus, so it's gonna be going brrrr, hopefully. And obviously I would prefer that it doesn't die immediately, because it has Intimidate, so it's gonna be nice to be able to just swap it in to reuse shit. But the main point here is obviously get Spikes and Toxic Spikes out. And then we have Scyther with U-turn, Roost, Facade, Aerial Ace. U-turn is pretty obvious here. We have an Intimidator. We have other Pokemon that are fairly good at taking hits, like Whimsicott. Whimsicott with Focus Sash can take a hit really well, obviously. And then it has Encore Tailwind, Toxic, Giga Drain. Then we have Amoonguss with Toxic, Protect, Giga Drain, Synthesis, and Regenerator. You can make the argument of I should be running Effect Spore, which, considering I have 2 healing moves, you're probably right on that. So let's put Effect Spore on you, because Effect Spore is random, whereas I would like to have I don't have much in the way of stalling in this team though, so maybe this is fine. Oh yeah, then we have Aggron with Life Orb, Rocket, Head Smash, Earthquake, Heavy Slam, Rock Polish, Lantern with Volt Switch called Ice Beam, Hidden Power, Fire. I think that's pretty evident about why this is here. Volt Switch is a special switching move, which again intimidate into Scyther or into Whimsicott or into Amoonguss. And then we have a Scald, Ice Beam, Fire for just basic coverage. Whimsicott has Encore, Tailwind, Toxic, Giga Drain. Giga Drain because of the fact that if I happen to switch into something that doesn't want to stay in against Whimsicott, and Weebfox knows this, and then I can click Giga Drain to maybe recover some amount of HP back from the hazard damage that I might have taken. You can make the argument that I shouldn't be running Focus Sash because of that, but I'm kinda expecting not to get hit by hazards that much, just because of the fact that like there's only 2 really good hazard setters, I feel like, in this, which are obviously Quillfish and Pharaoh Seed. Pharaoh Seed being in the other team with the Eviolite, Iron Barb, Spike, Stealth Rug, Toxic Gyro Ball. This is the same set that I was running on my Pharaoh Thorn, so yep. Entei with Life Orb, Pressure. I think it doesn't have a Flash Fire in this, because if I do this, it becomes invalid, yeah. It is unreleased, there we go, yeah. But yeah, we have Extreme Speed, Flare Blitz, Will Wisp, Stone Edge, and we're gonna double check that this is actually valid. This is valid, yep. So this is just gonna be a physical attacker, and has access to Will Wisp, just for the sake of having a burn, to maybe make my team a bit tankier. Then we have Archeops with Acrobatics, U-Turn, Endeavor, and Stone Edge. I think this... If you had Pain Split on this thing will be cracked, I think. But yeah, obviously the idea here is I'm gonna go giga fucking fast. I'm gonna use Acrobatics. I'm gonna kill whatever comes in, hopefully. Then I'm going to be clicking U-Turn or Stone Edge to avoid getting hit by something. And then if I do end up getting hit by hazards, I have Endeavor to reduce your HP to my HP. Well, then we have a Galvantula with Life Orb, Compounding Ice, Thunder, Toxic, Volt Switch, Bug Buzz. Pretty self-evident. This thing is pretty fast. It's gonna go zoomies. It's got Volt Switch for switching. It's got Bug Buzz for dealing actual damage to enemies with Stab. And then Thunder because it is Compound Ice, Toxic because there's Compound Ice. So these are essentially 95% accurate. Toxic is like 100% accurate, but Thunder becomes like 90% accurate. Medicham with Detect, Bullet Punch, Rain Punch, and Headbutt with Life Orb, Pure Power. Fast as fuck, boy. Self-evident. Chinchino, which Choice Scarf, Skill Link, Rock Blast, U-Turn, Bullet Seed, and Tail Slap. Max Speed Investment. You can make the argument that I should be running Max Attack Investment instead, but, you know, funny. Oh yeah, that about does it for these teams. They're very simple overall, so yeah. Good luck with the games. Okay. I'm 200 down the hole from the... I've like spent 700 on replacing shit now.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Very nice.
That's, you know, they say like when it rains it pours, so it's always like, alright, well, one thing breaks and I was like, yep, everything's going to shit now, that's awesome.
I'm really scared that my phone is gonna fucking blow up.
No, don't say it out loud.
I think I mentioned it, but I think I need to go change the battery on this one too.
Oh no.
But that's doable. It's a OnePlus battery, so did the PSU survive? I mean, the PSU is fine. It's just a case of the fan is broken, and I don't want to open the PSU because you're not supposed to open a PSU, even if it's just for replacing the fan. It's recommended against it. The like manufacturers highly recommend against it, and it's not something that you're intended to be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got a new PSU. Super quiet. I had to re-fucking wire my whole thing though. But because I got a new PSU, it also means that I finally got more SATA cables in there, so I could plug another hard drive in. Yippee!
At least that's something, you know, the silver lining there.
Yeah. Finally, after 7 years or something, my drives are now local disk. Once told me the world is gonna, and then next is roaming.
Nice. That is awesome. But I heard that you have approximately 298 hours left on Lost Belt, so I suppose
it's not Lost Belt, it's Ordeal Call.
Oh, my fault. Apologies. So it's like
very different, very different.
I see. So, but before we jump into it, any thoughts and feelings about RU for Generation 5?
Let me see what I even have on my team. So, yeah, I mean, unlike the previous generations where it feels like a lot of the spike setters just kind of die, like they just disappear after OU. Mm-hmm. Like in Gen 3, you didn't have spikes beyond OU pretty much because of the fact that they were no good spikers. But as we go down, it's crazy how good the spikers are now. Because like these are like the best spikers of Gen 3 down in fucking RU now or something.
Yeah, hazard setters are not gonna, because like as you said, like previously it was like beyond some point like you just didn't have access to hazards in general. Like we're kind of past that point, and now like you will have access to hazard if you would like them in every single
yeah. Which I think is kind of nice because it enables like having it kind of homogenizes the tiers a little, but at the same time it creates a situation where you can have a good like solid kind of Pokemon. You can just be like, this does a thing that is really good, and if your opponent doesn't choose to like react to that, it's really strong. Like the same idea that applies to like OU obviously, but at the same time in OU you always assume there's gonna be hazards, so you play around the hazards. Whereas in this one, it's gonna be a case of like, this can be a solid archetype of Pokemon that I can place into my team, regardless of what the rest of my team really does.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's nice. It's a good filler.
It is. It is nice, and it's like just having the option is nice because it's like you can have them or you cannot. Most of the time, you would like them though, but it's like the option is there, and that's always nice.
Dude, I just looked at my PU team. My PU team has one Pokemon from Gen 5.
Whoops.
Wait. But there's only like 2 Pokemon from Gen 5 in this fucking...
That is, but I have made sure every single tier, there are like, I'm not kidding, there are tiers in the future where there are literally, actually no, I don't think it was 2. I think it was 3, but there are like a couple generations and a couple of formats where you literally have 2 or 3 options to pick your tier from. Like, obviously meaning like options for each team. Like there are enough Mons in the tier to make the 2 teams. I have ensured that that is the case. But now the issue is that if one of those formats gets a tier shift somehow, where one of the Mons that are in the tier shifts to a tier above, then we're gonna be shit out of luck. But for the time being, we should be fine. But then there are occasionally the tiers, especially like is the case for Gen 5, when it's like there are a lot of good Mons. A lot of stuff in the very lowest tier is gonna be very bad, and if push comes to shove at some point, it's like, well, we're going to the non-fully evolved Mons now.
Oh wait, Stunfisk is PU. I would have expected it to be a bit better, because the typing is really good.
Yeah, unfortunately that's kind of all that's good about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got decent bulk.
It's passable.
Acceptable.
Yeah,
it's acceptable for the tier. Yeah, never mind.
But yeah, I like Gen 5 RU because this is like where a lot of my favorite Gen 5 Mons actually reside in. So I'm very excited about this. This is the tier where I'm like going the Karen route, where it's like bad trainers will try to strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. That's only the perception of bad trainers. Really strong trainers will try to win with their favorites. That's what I'm embracing today.
So true. I'm just gonna have to double check. Whimsicott is a Gen 5 Pokemon, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good, because I was looking at my RU team, I was like, wait a moment. This is a Gen 5 Pokemon, right?
But yes, it is a Gen 5 Mon. It's now a pure grass type. And only gets obviously the fairy type in later.
Oh yeah.
Because fairy type does not exist.
Yeah, great. I don't really have much to say about the tier itself. There's some of the stuff in here I've already played. Like there's a Pokemon in here that I'm surprised this was fucking RU, because I think I've had it in OU and UU. No. Wait, double checking. I did have it somewhere, right? Yeah. I had Among Us in OU. Yeah. Because I was like, oh yeah, this Pokemon is fucking crack. I'm gonna play it, obviously. And I for some reason I don't have it in my UU team, but I feel like if I realized that it was available, I would have probably used it.
Dude, you're
such a good.
You're so VGC pilled. Yeah, the reason why it's so low is like it has good abilities and stuff going on for it, but without Spore, like it's not great. So it does make sense that it resides lower. It's still a good Mon, like don't get me wrong, but it's a good.
It's bulky. It's got like, you can put Rocky Helmet on it, you can put Lefties on it, you can put. Oh yeah, I was supposed to change this back to Regenerator, but like just the fact that it's an obnoxious monster to deal with, you know.
Yeah,
I think it's worthwhile. I think because I'm gonna change one thing real quick. Because, like, I have Toxic Protect Giga Drain Synthesis on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, Giga Drain is probably too much. Like, genuinely, I should probably be running Sludge Bomb, but...
I mean, there's an argument to be made that if you're... Because Sludge Bomb isn't that great unless... like, you actually care about the poison. But if you're running a super bulky set, like, you're clicking Toxic, you're not clicking Sludge Bomb. Yeah. And if you look at the tier... Giga Drain, in my opinion, has better coverage than Sludge Bomb.
Yeah, because there's a lot of water types.
Yeah, there's a lot of water.
Also, an argument for Clear Smog over.
Clear Smog is very good.
Yeah, whatever. We can talk about this later, but I think Among Us is legitimately like so fucking good in this turn.
It is fair. I will say one of the best mons in the entire tier is Moltres. So obviously Among Us does absolutely nothing into Moltres, but.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, it's like, because I like, because when I'm doing my team break test, I like being able to talk about tiers, and obviously some of these tiers I've never played in my life, so I like keeping up, seeing what's good in there, so I can then talk about it. And like, apparently Moltres was like top 2 in usage for Gen 5 RU, so it's pretty good. Because usually how like good some mons are, it tends to be balanced around like, all right, what's actually popular, and obviously you need to beat the popular mons. So. But yeah,
damn, bro.
We can jump right to it, and we'll chat more after. So best of luck and have fun. I will send you the challenge in just a second.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh. You wanted to say something more?
No, I'm just looking at my moves right now. I'm like, wait, I'm missing something.
Okay. Well, I'll send the challenge. You can just don't worry about it. Fix your moves, and then
all right.
See you after. All right. And with that, it's funny he was talking about Amogus, because obviously Amogus is very good into my teams, but oh. Let me tell him that he's a plane. There we go. All right. Let's go generation 5. Rarely used, and we'll start with the hyper offense. Just not to worry about it. But yep. Today I'm Zen. Like, no matter what sort of bullshit RNG gets thrown at me, I'm gonna just deal with it, and hopefully we can have some fun games. I'll do my best. I'm feeling a little cold. Alright, so double grass. It looks like this could be actually a soft rain team. I wouldn't be surprised if he's running rain here. I don't know if Wims gets rain dance, but obviously like my team also doesn't worry about rain too much. The issue is that getting rid of stuff is gonna be hard. I do outspeed Scyther after Unburden, obviously. Before Unburden, I think yeah, we're speed tying. That's really annoying. But I have like decent ways to deal with this stuff. I'm just gonna go like this very good here. Durant actually goes really hard in this matchup. It kind of kills everything now when I'm looking at it. After Lantern is gone. Lantern is going to be annoying, but we do have obviously Sceptile for it. The issue is like before you know whether it's Wall Absorb or Water Absorb. But since we are playing Hyper Offense, there is one thing the Hyper Offense does, and that is it needs the needs to set hazards. So I'm not gonna think about stuff, and we will just Suicide Lead our Omastar and set some hazards here. I actually really like hazards. Like if I could get 2 layers of spikes as well as Stealth Rock, like that's perfect. The issue is that obviously he can have anti-lead on either of these and run Taunt. It could even be Taunt Wims, which would be really annoying, but yeah. Regardless, we're not gonna worry about anything. We're gonna go just click Stealth Rock. This might actually let me also know whether this thing is Oh, it tells you another effect on this. Has it told you that stuff before? Most is fine. We go down to Sash. Now the only issue here is obviously you can just bring out something that's faster than us, because that didn't trigger our what's his face? That didn't trigger our weak armor. The reason why almost is such a nice lead. Like if I'm him, I just go into Scyther and just click U-turn. Because the issue obviously there is that he's quadruple weak. So that's what makes things a little awkward for him. But like I don't think he would have, like I think this is his turn core. So it is kind of awkward for him actually. I do think Qwilfish also outspeeds stuff given like his team. So I would assume it to be a bulkier team and he can always just go Whims. Yeah, Whims is free, obviously. Now, he will just kill me, so clicking Ice Beam doesn't kinda do anything, so... I will just click Spikes. But what is he thinking? Yeah, there's Giga Drain. That's perfectly fine. Now, we could get our Unburden set up here, which would mean that we don't need to speed type, but we're not really in a position to start sweeping with this thing. And like I could kill it with other things as well. I kind of like going Durant here and just home clawing, because like no matter what he goes into, like we can kind of blow them up. The issue is like I said, Lantern. Like Lantern is the most annoying thing here. So if I go this thing, I kind of force out... What do I force out? Actually, wait, Sceptile just kills this whole team, doesn't it? Aggron is the only somewhat annoying thing. But like, Acrobatics definitely Okos this thing with Gem, right? The question is, do I want to send it here? Because like I can use that to kill a Mungus. What does Wims usually run? Like this stuff is annoying, and if it goes for something like Memento and shit, like that would be annoying. I can't be leeched. I do think he's switching, but like the issue is if he switches into Scyther and I lose the speed side, that would be annoying. But this is my win condition, so the thing is like, do I want to risk getting hit by stuff here? Let me see what Wims actually gets. Because Wims doesn't get a lot of stuff to actually hit me. Like U-turn is there. Tailwind is annoying, I will say that much, but I can't prevent him from getting Tailwind up. That's a bad miss for him. That's a really bad miss for him. Would he stay in the... Okay, what is he switching into? Would he go Scyther? I think he goes Scyther. He could just Toxic me, also predicting the switch, but I think he goes Scyther here. Yeah. I am Scarf, so I'm faster than this thing, so we can just Volt Switch for free, since he doesn't have any resistances. So we do get rid of Scyther, assuming he's not Scarf Scyther, but I doubt it. This is nice because now I don't really care about the Unburden. Obviously, I want to use the Flying Gem on Amoongus. But also if I can just trick a Choice Scarf onto Amoongus, then like we should be fine. If I can trick a Choice Scarf onto... Oh, it didn't kill. He's bulky. Interesting. I mean, I do have a priority on my Feraligatr, which I don't really need Feraligatr here. Like, he would be nice against Aggron here, but I don't really need him, so I'd rather go this U-turn. So now he still keeps this as attack, which is smart, and he does get momentum here. But what would he go into? I assume Lantern. The issue here is that Feraligatr doesn't get... oh, it does. Wait, why do I have Crunch and not EQ? I mean, like I said, like in the team theory, like this is a team taken from someone. So I'm assuming that Crunch is there for something like Rotom. But I definitely would love EQ in this matchup. And if I made the team, I would definitely make you. Alright. Now this thing just wants to toxic me. So I think I just sub here. I'll sub on this thing. Because I don't think... Okay, it does break it. Okay. I was going to say, I don't think Giga Drain breaks my sub. But it does break my sub. How much would a Flying Jump boosted acrobatics do on this? Not enough. I need a little bit of chip, which is an issue. What if I give... Actually, I don't really mind giving the Choice Scarf to anyone. Also, he's not leftovers, interestingly enough. And not also Black Sludge. Because I obviously don't want to trick myself a Black Sludge. We'll go for a trick. Because if I'm him, I honestly think I sack Scyther here. If I manage to give this thing a Scarf, I should be in very good position. The thing I'm wondering is just what item is he? Yeah, that's a good sack. That is the correct play. He's playing very well. I also knew you knew. But that doesn't matter because obviously even if he goes for something else. Alright, now the thing is, do I want to give this thing a Scarf? I have EQ that obviously gets rid of this thing. What would... The issue is like if he has... I think I sack Feraligatr here. Because I'm going to just assume he's Rock Head Smash. Because I think that just makes the most sense. So we'll just sack Feraligatr here. Because Feraligatr doesn't really do a lot in this matchup. Like mostly what I like it is like obviously it can... like I want it to do chip on this thing. And... like if I had Earthquake, like it would be really nice because that would obviously be I'm faster than Lantern, so I can deal with Lantern that way. But it is like 100% just a like Sceptile wins angle. The thing is like I need to deal with the Mungus, and then I can win with that. Yeah, that was obvious. His Rock Smash. Life Orb. Oh, you greedy, greedy pig. Now the thing is. I think... we got Golurk here. And Dynamic Punch is free, because, I mean, it just confuses stuff. It also kills this thing, but... after Rock Polish, I'm faster than everything he has, which is so nice. The issue is if I click this and he goes into Wims, and then he just Encores again, like that's gonna be a problem. Earthquake deals with more things, but I think like the Wims, which is too obvious. Yeah, I'm glad. This might actually even die. Okay, it's very bulky, but we do get the confusion. And now this is important because he's confused, which means that... so it's... Dynamic Punch is almost a guaranteed Oko. I will click it again. Because a part of me... I don't die to Giga Drain, I don't die to Energy Ball either, because he's bulkier. But like, I want to go for Rock Polish, predicting a switch. But like, I don't think it makes sense. Yeah, Confusion is too good. We're both like taking a long time on these. Actually, is this where I go Durant or no? Yeah. Confusion's broken. And there's Quillfish, which I don't think it kills me. Intimidate obvious, it sucks. Now the thing is, how much do I take from this? I got Durant here. That's fine. Honkloss. Don't burn me. That was a really bad crit. Okay, well, I can still get paid back. I can para and he can full para. But that was a really bad crit. Or I just get... Okay, he's... I see. He doesn't have priority. I don't think I kill this thing in one hit, though, is the issue. But I do get a lot of chip on this. Oh my god, Durant is powerful. Wait, he's indecist? He definitely protects here. But, like, it doesn't make sense for me to Honkloss, because I still a kill, so it doesn't matter. That's a fine trade, because now, like, I bring in Sceptile and Sceptile just win. Actually, do I even need to bring in Sceptile? I don't need to. I bring in Glow Lyric and I click Earthquake. Yeah. Head Smash can Oko me, so it doesn't make sense for me to predict anything. It's kind of funny that I played to a Sceptile wins endgame and I just never use Sceptile. I got very lucky though. GG. I got good RNG for sure. I got a few like really lucky rolls. Alright, but that was like definitely my better team. So now let's see if I can win another one with the other team. But I love this team. Like, it has Chinchino, it has Sigilyph, it has Galvantula, like some of my favorite mons in all of Generation 5. Like, I absolutely love this team. Oh! Fellow Chinchino and Galvantula. Enjoyer. Yeah, so for reference, like Chinchino and Galvantula are like my the favorites out of the entirety of Generation 5. He is very weak to rocks. I don't. If he leads Entei, like, do I die? Is the question. I don't think so. I don't die to Bandit Flare Blitz because I'm Steelix. Like, yeah. No matter which way you slice it, like, I need rocks up here. Steelix is so good into his team, though, as well, so... Yeah, okay, we're just exchanging hazards here. Galvantula is gonna get smoked this game. Now, he can set up spikes, too, is the thing. And... would he, though? How good is he into Sigilyph? The issue is Archeops, and that's it. Like, Archeops is the only issue here, which is like, I really want to go into Sigilyph, but I can't do that because of Archeops. He's probably sending spikes here. Yeah. Unfortunately, now we have to deal with a layer of spikes and a layer of... I'm always clicking Fire Punch. I think... he's going Entei here. How do I deal with him going Entei? Because I know he's going Entei. Like, the Fire Punch is too obvious. And he has Flash Fire. The issue is after hazards, like, I explode. I need to do this. I don't like, because obviously last week I just lost to a prediction where he just literally stayed in and that's it. But I think like the Fire Punch here is way too obvious. I guess I just should play as if like Jeexx is not thinking. Because... interesting. I probably just lose off that. But yeah, I guess I just should then just... because the thing is, I want to go this thing so bad, but Archeops just fucks me. But I guess at this point I just lose to Archeops anyway, so... I could also hide tech, I guess. If he doesn't know that I'm Fire Punch, I guess I go back here, and now if it goes Entei, like, I'll just forfeit, because at that point I can't win anymore. I guess he was just willing to give it. Now the issue here is like he goes Entei for free, and I don't have a switch in. Like, that's the issue here. I can try to win with Chinchino, though. Like, I can try that, but... I guess in his mind, the issue is like Chinchino... I think the most popular set runs Choice Scarf, and like me personally, I love Life Orb, so if he Choice Scarf Chinchino, then the matchup is going to be really bad. Like, Kabuto's was my way to deal with Entei, but I thought 100% like he just goes Entei there, because the Fire Punch is so obvious, but I guess in his mind he was like, I don't need to keep Pharaoh around anymore. I did kind of waste my gem now. I do wonder, like, is he... I would assume that his gem is one of these two mons. I would assume it to be Archeops. Calvantula. What? This might be just... I mean, he's faster, so he could just be... He's probably just Volt switching, right? I would assume he just Volt switches. This could be just bait, but I don't want to give the Fire Punch. There's Bug Buzz. Oh, that's specs as hell. That is the most specs thing I've ever seen in my life. I want to predict... How much do I even do on Medicham? Not that much. The issue is if he once again stays in and I click Dragon Tail, that would be really annoying. Okay, I'm so glad. Okay. He's playing in like click buttons mode, so I'll try to not do any crazy predictions. Now the issue is here Entei comes in for free. But the thing is, what do I need? I do need it to take KO. I want to try to win with Sigilyph, but I don't think it's feasible. Like, Sigilyph into his team is just not good because of Archeops. And there's also a chance that Medicham, if Chinchino is not Scarfed, like Medicham might be Scarf with Stone Edge. Yeah. I don't think I can afford to switch, because I switch and then I bring this thing in and this thing dies anyway. So at least like he takes, actually he might be Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire isn't 100% accurate though. So yeah, I was gonna say like, so probably he's Flare. Now the thing here is, do I kill this thing with Chinchino? Because I think oh my god, Chinchino, you beautiful bastard. We love Chinchino in this house. Now there's an issue here, which is that if he's scarfed on this thing. Tail Slap also Okos, right? Yeah, Tail Slap is also a guaranteed Oko. These are both 90% accurate. Does Aqua Tail do more on everything else? Yeah, Aqua Tail is more on this. Rock Blast can Oko this. Okay, I was gonna say. Now the issue here is that he's, like I said, like one of these is definitely scarfed, so he can just bring in whichever is scarfed here and just Oko me that way. And like the issue here is that I think the Arceus just sweeps me. I do have a Sucker Punch on Drodigon, so maybe I can use that and then try to win with Thunder Spam. Okay, I do potentially get to see this thing's item here. But like if it's Life Orb, because if he goes Bullet Punch here. Yeah. Is it Life Orb? It is Life Orb. Oh, okay. So this thing is Life Orb. I can outspeed it. Now I don't... Yeah, Thunder kills. Then he brings in Arceus or Chinchino with Rock Blast. And yeah, Rock Blast, Chinchino. Does it kill me? I'm still 150. Psychic can Oko. The only thing this does here is this. But yeah, Rock Blast, Scarf Chinchino just wins. Am I gonna believe that this thing... Am I gonna have a better time to bring in Galvantula than here though? I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I gotta bring in Galva here. And click my Compound Eyes Accurate Thunder. Right? It needs to be Thunder every time. Because Bug Buzz kills this, but then I'm locked. Yeah, it needs to be Thunder. The chip doesn't even matter. It's essentially like if he hits Rock Blast, he wins. Which is also detect. Interesting. Jeexx loves protect moves. That's why like this guy is scary in VGC. He's already VGC coded with his move selection. Yeah. If I'm Jeexx, like you sack this thing, you bring in Chinchino, you click Rock Blast, and it should win him the game. Assuming he's Skill Link and not Technician. This dude's favorite Pokemon is Caesar, so there is a world where he... yeah, this is the right play. Now the question is, actually... Yeah. No, I don't get to find out the item, unfortunately. But Rock Blast, like I said, 90% accurate. There is a world. If he misses Rock Blast, I think we win. Well, he didn't. He is Skill Link. So this game should be over, because obviously Chinchino just kills Sigilif as well with Rock Blast. Rock Blast, they guaranteed Oko, and I think it also kills this thing. So if I crit Sucker Punch, I can win, right? Although I still lose to Archeops. But yeah, the only out I have is crit on Sucker Punch. But I'm happy that in both teams, like, Chinchino put in work. It didn't crit. But yeah. This is just a, like, bad team matchup, and also the fact that I had where I went for a prediction on, what's his face? I went for a prediction on, I mean, it doesn't matter, because I did the last thing. I went for the prediction on the Ferrothorn, which lost me the game. Flying Gem, okay. Alright, so now we're gonna go up against this team, which is scary, but let's see what we can do. Rocks are not that important against this team. The issue is I don't have U-turn on my Chinchino, which I would love in this one. I'm glad that I did put low kick on Capitops to deal with Aggron, so I do have some ways of dealing with Aggron. Chinchino actually goes kind of hard after his grass types are gone, but the issue is I don't have great ways of dealing with said grass types. It's the grass types and Aggron that are the issues. And like this deals with the grass types, but then there's Lantern. This is a really not great team matchup, I will say. Sigilif only loses to Aggron lead. If he leads, but like this is my rocker and he knows it, so would he lead Aggron in the deaths when like he just immediately loses Aggron? I don't think so. If he leads Aggron, then there, you know, you got it. Do I Oko Aggron with low kick? I do, because it's so bulky. I do know he is Rockhead and not Adamant. He's Rockhead, Life Orb. So yeah, let me change that here, because I do know it's Life Orb. Quillfish. I think I'm fine with this. The issue is Taunt, but I don't think I'm gonna be predicting here. I'm just gonna click Psychic, because if he clicks Spikes, if he clicks Taunt, I don't want to lose a turn. Like at this point, like I'd rather just, you know, go for more straightforward stuff. We know Spikes and Scald, so I'm assuming that he's also gonna be Taunt Thunder. I'm assuming this set, but instead of Impish, it's obvious then. Careful. No. Cool. Those type. You guys are thinking of Cafagras. It's Sash. Interesting. For the one time in my life, I'm actually happy to get burned. This is not 100% accurate, which is the issue here, but it's so good into so many of his other mons in case he wants to save this. I think it's like still worth it to click this, even though it's 90% accurate. It does reveal that I have a fire move, but I think it's kind of obvious anyway. So please burn, please burn, please burn, 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 burn. Fuck. Can this thing touch me? How much do you actually do with a thunderbolt? I don't think that much. Let's see. How much do you do through? Oh, yeah, it's ice beam. Oh, this thing is offensive. I see. Okay, it's offensive lantern. That changes things. That makes this thing actually quite scary into my team. The issue here is I don't really have great switch-ins. I do kind of need Sigilif though. The issue is because I'm so low. Actually, it just does that much. Oh, he's specs. Actually, he might not be specs. That might be like mineral. Oh, he is specs. I see. Interesting. Then is the chip on this worth it? Because I get chip, he kills me, and then I can kill this thing with Giga Drain. Or just click Tail Slap. I don't need this for a Quillfish anymore. I don't, like I said, like I would love to have this for the things, but like having this thing gone would actually help a lot with Galvantula. I think it's actually better. There's also a world where I obviously just crit and just kill him, so I think this is fine. Because now I kind of kill this thing with everything. Am I faster than him though? I don't think so, no. I think it's just always you, right? Now, the issue here is obviously if I miss, because it's not 100% accurate. I think Tail Slap is still my best move to click here. Yeah. I can still, like, if I set up rocks, then obviously the fish dies. I could, like, just have gone for Kabutops and Stone Edge this. That's fine. As long as we hit. There we go. In the circuit. How much do I do with Bullet Seed? Not that much. I mean, he's banded, so if I lock him into Earthquake instead of Head Smash, like, that's honestly not that bad. But he probably rocks here. Rock Polish. He doesn't die to Earthquake, so, but I still don't think he's staying in. Like, I don't think there is no world he's staying in. I'm clicking Dragon Tail. He's going Scyther here. I think the Scyther is too obvious. Now, obviously I would love to do this with having hazards up, but this is one situation where I'm comfortable making that. Yeah, this was so obvious. So that's one like situation where I'm very comfortable making the... I actually don't mind this. If he encores me, like he gets a switch, but he takes a little bit of chip. But I would like to get rocks up here. What did this thing have? This thing had Giga Drain, Toxic, and Encore. Yeah, there's the Encore. That's perfectly fine. And I think here... Did I go Drodigon here? I know his specs. He could be clicking Ice Beam, which is an issue. Because I do need Drodigon because I let this thing die. The issue is also that I never like got to see which ability this was. Because I had to go for the win. It's fine. I'm not gonna risk him going into a Scyther. Like, if he goes Scyther here, then that's perfectly fine. Which one? It doesn't matter. Yeah, neither of these do any damage. I'm clicking bug buzz every time. I think, like, here, if I'm him, like, I definitely let this go down. It's done its job for sure. It's very bulky. And obviously, like, if I knew, like, I'm 90% sure it's voltage absorb, but there's still like the 10% chance that it is water absorb. So obviously the issue here is that like I get to like he gets to bring in Scyther for free afterwards, but it's still like fine because I have Steelix at max and Capital at max. He could go something like Amoongus and take a lot of chip here. I don't mind this at all, especially now. Well, I mean, you report you, so that's the, like, I know, like, that's why they made quits in the first place, is, like, you can't just infinitely play defensive, but, yeah. Because, like, the idea is there that if the game would be in a standstill, at some point, a quit will happen. So, that's the first time that, like, I can't feel too bad about a crit. Because that lies to a situation where, like, the crit is gonna happen at some point. And honestly, like, given my team, I don't think the Amoongus is what he cares about. Like, he should sack this thing 100%. Like, I don't think Amoongus does anything into this team. He definitely insists on saving it. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Like, even if this thing sets up, I don't care. There's a world, like, because I have weak armor on Kabutops, like, I could go for that as well, because... But yeah. I have the Steelix, like, this is obviously free for him. Now he goes Lantern here. I think he's just trying to win with Lantern. What? Did he just want the regenerator recovery, or? I guess he wants the synthesis. I mean, I'm taking rocks up here. That's an interesting switch, because I don't think, like, I would value Amoongus that highly in this matchup. That's perfectly fine. Let's get rocks up. And now, part of me wants to touch Dragon Tail. Sure. Show me Caesar. That sucks. I think this is definitely where we got Rodigon. Yeah. Now we start clicking Fire Punch on everything. Because it kills this, it probably kills this, and it does a lot of on Aggron. That's annoying, but it's fine. He needs to go Aggron here, because everything else dies. Or he can go Amoongus and click Protect and have one more turn of sleep, but then, you know. But he needs to go Aggron here. Okay, so he has chosen it. So now he's gonna click protect. And then after that, he's gonna switch into Aggron. Or he's just gonna let Amoonguss die. What? Okay. There is also a world where Amoonguss is... So that means this doesn't matter because obviously I can just kill this thing with Aqua Jet. So... Or he can just sack it. I think that's a mistake though, so because now something is taking Fire Punch damage. Please burn this. Please burn this. Somehow burn this. I don't need the burn, but oh, I'm alive as well. Is he faster than me actually? This would actually be nice to know. Okay, that's perfectly fine. And now I'm faster than both of his things on Galvantula, so we just go Galvantula and click Giga Drain. Wait, Giga Drain Okos? Jesus Christ, Galvantula strong, GG. The crit definitely smoothened the process that I got on Amoonguss, but overall, like, I think that was still a like really good set. GG's, man.
GG's.
There was, I was saying like how the crit on Amoonguss did a lot and definitely smoothened the process, but that felt like one of those where it's like, obviously the reason why crit exists is like, because they wanted something where it's like, if the game goes to a stalemate, at some point a crit will happen, and it kind of felt like that, so...
It didn't! It was not a stalemate!
I mean, it was basically like you were getting chip on everything, and I had very fast Mons, so... I do think that at that point it was kind of locked anyways, but...
The reason why drawing cards exist in this game is so that I can draw the out. That's how it works.
That's not what I meant, but...
The out was drawn. No, but like, it's like... frustrating because it's a case of like, okay, I'm gonna switch Amoonguss in because Amoonguss can take 2 hits here. I can get a thing off, I can go basically to max HP, and then I can probably Toxic you somewhere in the middle of there, and then switch him out immediately after some amount of time has passed, and then still bring him back out. But the fact that the crit put him to like 12%.
You don't have recovery on Amoonguss though, no?
I have Giga Drain and Synthesis and Regenerator.
Yeah, but like, because Regenerator happens when it switches out, and Rocks happens when it switches in. Like, you still get 2 got by Bug Buzz.
No, but like, Bug Buzz would have done 30-30, give or take. 36, or actually I think it would have been, because you did 41, right?
It's 40% to 47.
Oh yeah, okay. Then yours is stronger than mine, because mine only did 33 to 37.
Oh, are you timid?
Hasty.
Oh, God. Okay, but still like, yeah, speed boosting nature. Gotcha.
Yes.
I see.
But yeah, it should have essentially been, after Rocks, it would have been a 3-hit.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, then the thought process makes sense. Gotcha. Yeah, because I was literally saying like, when are you switching that? Because I don't remember what you had at that point, but like, I was like saying that you obviously go Aggron here, because Aggron is the one that takes a hit and then forces me to switch out. But actually, was it Aggron? No, it was something I forget already. But it was like something that like in my mind, it was like, yeah, you have an obvious switch in here, and then you went into Amoonguss. Oh no, yeah, it was like Sack Lantern here, and then you get to bring in either Aggron or Scyther for free. And
against
you can go from
Galvantula.
there. Yeah.
Both of them get 1 shot.
Wait, is your Scyther slower than my Galvantula?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Are you Adamant Scyther?
Yes. Even if I wasn't Adamant, I'm still slower than a max speed. And like 0, even if your nature wasn't speed boosting, as long as I'm not a speed boosting nature with max speed itself.
Scyther
is 105.
Wait, it is 105.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're because you're not a speed
Oh yeah, wait,
boosting
never
nature,
mind. Yeah, you said you were Adamant. Never mind. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like, wait, but yeah.
And then because I was like, oh, your Galvantula must be speed boosted, because like I was like, well, I'm speed boosted.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, also, another instance of where I just fucking lost a game because I was just like, well, obviously he switches in here the Entei with Flash Fire into my Fire Punch, which is so obvious. So let me double back into Kabutops. And then it just clicked Gyro Ball.
Me when I'm like, dude, I don't even know what the fuck this guy has, and I don't have Flash Fire. Flash Fire isn't out.
Wait.
You can't have Flash Fire Entei. Hidden abilities unreleased. Can only be learned in gens without hidden abilities.
So, oh shit. Well then, dude, why does it tell me that possible abilities include Flash Fire?
So when you're actually looking at Entei, it shows you Flash Fire is crossed over.
Yeah,
but then when you're looking at the
it
abilities, it's like really annoying because you're clicking on it. Oh yeah, Flash Fire. You can have Flash Fire. Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
Yeah, if it was crossed out here, then that would also help. But yeah, now when you say that, it is true that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I think, is when like they start with the hidden abilities for the legendary beast. But I was just like, hidden abilities are in Gen 5, so and they can have that.
Of course, you should. Like reasonably, I think
that
you should
explains
have that,
also why Enteis are you.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say like,
bad.
Yeah, that mon is
Glass Cannon.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah, Flash Fire makes it like actually have some merit to it, and then like it's a fast Pokemon, and on top of that, it's got immunity to fire, makes it pretty okay. But as it was, I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go Giga Glass Cannon, and I'm gonna kill anything that moves. And then after I fucking put on a speed boosting nature, I was like, this shit is slow as fuck. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna make it adamant.
Yeah, it's
fuck you.
Entei is kind of like meddling. It's like you need, if you want to have speed, like you need to make it jolly with a scarf, in which like I kind of like jolly Entei, but it's just like at the same time you can just have adamant Entei with band, and you can just click button and something will die.
Yeah, I mean. Nothing would have died, I think. I don't think Chinchino would have died because I'm pretty sure it only did 60%. Oh, but it was after rock, so it would have killed. If it was
yeah, wait, I was gonna. There is no fucking world where Chinchino lives a choice banded Flare Blitz from Entei. Like, no shit.
Oh, Flare Blitz. Yeah, but like, because I was like, well, of course you're scarfed on your Chinchino for the fuck of it.
I was talking about it, which is like the by far most popular Chinchino set is just Scarf, but I fucking love a life. Like, so I told you that like based Galvantula, Chinchino, Enjoyer, these are like my two favorite Pokemons out of the entirety of Gen 5. And Chinchino, I always have 5 move syndrome with Chinchino, because it's like I want the max skill link value. So I want my Rock Blast, I want my Bullet Seed, and I want my Stab Move. Those give you good coverage as well. I also want U-Turn to be able to make use of my really fast speed and to pivot on things. But at the same time, if I don't have Aqua Tail, I get completely walled by so many things with Bullet Seed and Rock Blast, especially in this tier with Aggron and Steelix, both which are like Steel and then Rock or Ground. So
I was looking at Steelix and being like, dude, what do you mean I do no damage to you? And then I realized it's because I have rocks instead of EQ.
Yeah, and it is funny too. So my Steelix is full defense investment and Impish. I'm 540 defense.
And it would still one-shot Aggron.
Yeah, and even if Aggron had EQ and you were Adamant, Life Orb, max attack investment, it's a 50-50 to... Actually, no, wait. Dude, EQ from Adamant, 50. Life Orb, max investment, tops. Does 41% at most. Steelix. Yeah, the idea behind the Steelix is like, if you look at the tier, there are so few special attackers actually in the tier.
Yeah.
Like there are like, literally like 5.
I have like 2 of them on my team.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say
like, sucks.
Dude, I got so caught off guard by Lantern. I was just like, what the fuck did this guy just do 61% through +1 special defense? And then it's like, oh, this motherfucker is Modest Choice Spec Lantern. He's a freak.
You know, I'm out here taking names. killing shit.
To be fair, the Lantern was like the biggest issue. That the team matchup was also so annoying because I was like, okay, Galvantula is really good here, but I do need to get rid of the Lantern first. And then it's like, okay, Sigilov can take over after Aggron is gone. Well, this thing, like Chinchino will do really well here after the grass time. It's always like it's every single one is like, okay, I need to get rid of this thing to be able to do something with this thing.
Just happened to work out pretty well.
Yeah,
I think Whimsicott was like an actual MVP, by the way.
was it a decent amount of stuff? Yeah,
Because like the Encore actually came in clutch in the first and I think it was the second one. No, the third one. Because encoring you into Dragon Tail actually allowed me to fucking pivot and basically invalidated your Steelix for a brief moment, and then I got into the Lantern for free, which is like, yeah, I'll take that.
mm-hmm.
It was pretty nice. It was pretty useful. And then obviously I had like Focus Sash, Pale Wind, Encore, Toxic, Giga Drain, which is I think makes some amount of sense. Yeah. So this guy obviously, both of these are leads in one way or another.
Yeah.
Whimsicott obviously I think is less of a lead because of the fact that it doesn't have hazard setting moves, so it's more of a oh, I'm gonna go into this because you just fucking killed something and I'm gonna click Encore to lock in the thing that you're using to kill shit if you're not a Specs mon, and then I'm gonna use Tailwind, I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna Toxic you, and you're hopefully gonna die. And then Quillfish was obviously Spiker plus Gold and Boom. And it was like the fastest Pokemon on my team.
Yeah.
If we ignore the Scyther, who was not speed investment but rather attack investment.
Gotcha. Your poor Scyther only got to click U-turn, but that's the issue, because like initially I had Moltres here as well, but dude, I fucking hate running mons that are quadruple weak to rocks.
Yeah.
It just feels so bad.
The fact that I have U-turn on this mon and then I got into rocks, I was like, oh yeah.
Yep.
I just blow up.
It feels so bad. Like initially, this was like the second team had Moltres, and Kabutops had Rapid Spin instead of low kick.
Oh yeah.
And in the end, I ended up pivoting with like, you know what? I'd rather like use like even more because of my like actually favorite mons and just not worry about a quadruple rock weakness. And also, like I said, like the matchup into Aggron for this team wasn't that great. Steelix was like the one thing there. So for compensation, I just like gave Kabutops low kick, which obviously Oko's Aggron, because it is such a heavy motherfucker.
Well, yeah, it's like the heaviest Pokemon ever, isn't it? It's heavier than Wailord, right?
I think so. It's in the top 10, yeah. It's like it's not the Groudon range, but it's like one of the heaviest. Fucking... Like I think actually I'm not sure if it's heavier than Steelix, but it's like both of those are like up there for like non-legendaries. But yeah, the first team was just like a hyper offense team, and then the second one was more of a balanced one. The first one was also just like a straight up stolen team because it had after I built this team. The other one with like I said, like Chinchino and Galvantula, everything like that, and I was thinking of the other one. It was just like, I want to use, I think Durant is really cool, I think Golurk is really cool, and I just saw a team with both of those, so I was just like, with none of the mons that I used in the other teams, I was just like, you know what, let me just fucking take this. And I have played hyper often. Oh, sorry?
I was originally considering playing Golurk too.
I think
I played later down.
Golurk is like, I think of fondly mostly because of like it's the childhood favorite mon to me, because like as a kid it's like, dude, what do you mean my Machamp can have a 100% accurate dynamic punch? That is so cool. And Golurk just fills that fantasy, which I think it's just really fucking cool. And Durant and Galvantula both like white for the same reason, where it's like, okay, these mons have like inaccurate stuff that does a lot of stuff, it has a lot of power behind it, but they have a way to offset that accuracy. Obviously, Galvantula's Hustle giving it an innate choice band, but making your moves only 80% accurate. But after Home Claws, it means that your previously 100% accurate moves are now I think 99.7% accurate. Essentially, like, they shouldn't miss, essentially. And for Galvantula, obviously, Compound Eyes giving you Thunder that is 93% accurate, I think, is pretty nice.
almost done.
Yeah, it's essentially like 95 to 100. Like it shouldn't miss,
Yeah.
but it's always still can.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
The names. Yours were named after daily games and
the other one was just Kawamoji. That's also one thing that I thought was really cute about the team. They just had those in the pre-built team, and I was just like, you know what? That's really cute. I'm keeping that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Mine were just emotes. Yeah. Just fucking Suno 3 a.m. Spooky and Fumo Walk.
Fucking Dink. I'll see that shit in my dreams.
What?
Was it Volt Absorb, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was talking about that, like, it's 90% of the time it's going to be Volt Absorb, but I can never be sure that it's not Water Absorb, which is scary.
So the reason why I went with Water Absorb was specifically because I have 2 Mons in the team that are weak to like electric, and obviously I was thinking about Galvantula because I was running Galvantula as well. So it's like, well, I want Volt Absorber so I can switch into Galvantula, but then I didn't account for the fact that, well, that doesn't fucking matter if I can't kill it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I actually think Galvantula was, like, when we did our list, I think I listed Galvantula as my favorite bug type.
Hell.
At least in my mind, it's my favorite bug type. I really like low kicks as well, but it's like more recent, so. And I don't like Scarlet and Violet in general, so it doesn't hold as much.
Broken, bro.
Low
Have
kicks?
you seen low kicks with its phone stab knockoff, bro? Oh,
Stab knockoff with Terra Dark with fucking
with the thing that makes it so that unaffected moves deal like good damage.
Tinted lens, yeah. Tinted lens is such a broken ability, all the shit. But I mean, to be fair, I think it's given to Bugs and Noctowl, so yeah. That's about it,
baby. And then we I don't even know what you would give this motherfucker, but like,
usually it's knockoff, Sucker Punch, First Impression, and then U-turn or SD, depending on what you want to do.
You get this thing. That's nice. That's cool.
It's a cool one. But yeah.
Sucker Punch.
But dude, even though like I said, like I lost the second game to a dumb fucking prediction once again, it's just like I was still happy to see Chinchino put in a lot of work from both sides. Shout out Chinchino.
Chinchino fucking crushed it.
Dude, I fucking love Chinchino. It's so
I was like thinking, wait, this is checkmate after you killed Archeops, I think.
Archeops never
even
even came in. Archeops came in just to clean up.
Yeah. Archeops was really useful too at the end of the day, because I think it would have been way stronger if rocks weren't out the whole time, because it had U-turn on it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had gotten it out immediately, it could have probably done some stuff. But
I like using Archeops like as a offensive rocker myself, where it's like I think you also had a flying gem on it, but it's like it's either a flying gem or a rock gem, and like then you have the stab moves, you have U-turn, and then you have rocks. And when Defeatis is up and you're fucking useless, you can still like as a final result, like you can set up rocks later than in a pinch, which is sometimes useful. But I don't really like Archeops too much. I'm not too fond of the flying fossils anyway. Like Archeops and Aerodactyl are some of my like least favorite fossils. I don't really like them personally, but
I feel like Aerodactyl specifically is a mon that I really like, just because of the fact that
it's very good.
Nostalgia. And it's really, really good, really fast, does a lot of stuff good. Good stealth rocker, good sasher until it gets fucking rock blasted out the ass. Randomly by a Rhyperior running Rock Blast in the year 2026.
Me when I complain about the better move.
I mean, rocks, pretty good move.
Rocks. It is true.
But yeah,
I can't wait for heavy duty boots.
This thing had Endeavor instead of stealth rock, so.
Oh, that's cool.
The idea was obviously to acrobatics or stone edge. Acrobatics first, and if I didn't fucking blow up, stone edge, and then endeavor you down to my health, and then you kill me, and I pivot. And it's like, okay, that's not bad.
Sceptile didn't get to do anything, but Sceptile was also, it was flying gem unburden. So it's just like, if you get an SD off, Acrobatics activates unburden, you explode something, then you have Acrobatics Leaf Blade for Earthquake for just like crazy good coverage.
Dude, I'm so glad I had fucking priority on go for that.
But yeah, the only thing that Sceptile did was press Source Dance, and then after it was like, alright, Sceptile is really good into this team, so I'm gonna play for the end game where Sceptile wins late, and then it just fucking never came out again.
Yeah.
But the threat was there.
The threat was there.
But yeah. I think that about does it. So
yeah, I don't have anything much to add either. So.
Next time is gonna be never used, and yeah, not much else to say on that. Thank you for gaming, and
Thanks for playing.
Good luck with the other 298 hours of Fate Ghost Story. Hopefully you can grind through that.
I'm doing my best.
Enjoy the story, and I will see you around. And once again, Sharon, thank you for borrowing your streamer. Y'all behave. I will see you around. Thanks for gaming, and bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, so that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for watching this episode of the Pokemon Product Series. Sorry for the absence last week. Jeexx, I think I caught some of that on tape, but like a lot of Jeex's stuff was just breaking, so he just wasn't in a good headspace last week. So we felt like probably shouldn't do the Pokemons. So that's why there was a week delay. Sorry for that. Now we should be back in action. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you around. Peace.